What's up, beautiful people? Hello and welcome to session 71 of the Forming. I am, of course, your DM of Doom, Son of Asgard, or World Tree Quests here on Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube. With me today, we've got my lovely and amazing cast. We've also got an intruder who's just appeared at the back. We've got Patron of Chaos. We have got Just Harry. We have got Khadija Al Kubra, and we've got Ash Howard Music, and we've got Astrid doing the Mission Impossible combat crawl across the ground. So hi, welcome everybody. Before I move into it, do we have any kind of housekeeping? Yes, of course we do. We do indeed. Referee can now drop the button. We are still recruiting for our Dragon Age TTRPG campaign coming up soon. It is going to be 4 people that we're looking for. It's a completely new TTRPG system to this channel. It's an amazing TTRPG system. So, if you want to learn a new TTRPG, please come along. Please apply. We would love to have you. It's a dark fantasy TTRPG, so it can be quite grim. Some aspects of it. If you ever play a Dragon Age game, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And the campaign is going to run concurrently alongside the events of Dragon Age Origins for the first spread at least, so there is going to be a lot of familiar faces, a lot of familiar voices. It's going to be very, very fun. Please do come and apply if you are interested. Moving right along from there, as that is everything, I will ask the question that I always love to ask. Guys, can we remember what happened last session?
I collected a new himbo.
Yes, you did!
To be specific,
Reveries, Harems, and himbos.
Reverie collected a new himbo.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. What's this new himbo like?
His name is Kiki, and he's super tall, even for an Automaladrin. Like, super, super tall.
To be specific to those watching, his name is not literally Kiki, his name is Kikierum. But it's just easier for people to call him Kik, and Reverie decided to call him Kiki. Just to be specific on that.
He can call her Riri. It's fine. It's equal footing. Yes, and it is Koljata's younger brother. I also met the new Archmage of Winter, who was fun, so fun. Who has brought up that Winter is looking into things on whether to stay or to separate from everyone else. Ash and, Sheila and Arya went off to go find the Forge Master, who is located secretly somewhere in the castle and is repairing Koljata's Warhammer.
Yeah, and we also managed to get in touch with the Autumn Lord, at least. He's kind of occupied and he doesn't really have healing magic, but he did at least create kind of like a barrier, so like that people who were infected, like the infection couldn't spread to the rest of Russet Fall settlement, so at least it's kind of like quarantined in a bit sense, but people who have magical capabilities and who aren't sick can at least get out and come back in and stuff like that. So that's something at least, and he's going to try and get in touch with the Spring Maiden when he can to kind of appeal to her, since she has, since she's all about rebirth and life and stuff like that, and Spring's people are here too, so we tried reaching out to Raziel, but they were occupied. And then also we had some more buddy comedy moments with Elion and Kiernan guarding the mirror.
The bromance grows. I'm gonna start
You know
making
what?
clips of like Elian and Kiernan bromance and make it like a compilation cut.
You know what? I feel like they both need a friend like that. They both deserve that.
Pretty decent summary of what we've got so far. We have, as was said, we've got Arya and Sheila. I believe we ended with you guys going down the stairs into the lower rungs of this mountain palace, leading into the forge that's there.
Yeah.
We had another thing to highlight as well. Just because you brought her up, but her name wasn't said. Can you remember the name of the new Archmage of the winter seasons?
It was something with an A, right?
It was Erelaya.
Erelaya, right?
Yes, and she is
The ice cold bitch.
no pun intended. She's pretty cold. And yeah, we did have Elion and Kiernan watching over the portal, not going through it, just keeping an eye on it. But we did say that when we started back, we were going to be starting with our two bards stepping down into the forge. Now, when you go down this first staircase, as was described to you by the guard, it's one staircase you go down, you would hit like the area where they keep prisoners, the dungeons. At the end of it, there will be a cell which has what used to be a cell. As was described, the door's been taken off it, and there is now another staircase on the floor. You would go down that one. Coming down the first staircase into what is it, Arya?
Sorry, just is like the staircase like the spacing narrow and or dark?
No, I mean I would say it's dim. It's dimly lit because you have no window. There's no natural light coming in, so it's all lit with these torch brackets that are lighting everything. It's all oil lamps and stuff that are lighting the way.
All right,
So-
but does it say small?
I wouldn't say small. I would say it's cozy. It's not to the point where you're like this, but you and Sheila definitely do have to walk one in front of the other.
Oh, okay. You would probably hear Arya kind of breathing a little heavier, a little more frantically.
Oh, do we have
Than normal, then?
So a claustrophobia warning probably good to put out there. Just in case
Yeah.
anybody does have claustrophobia, character has claustrophobia, just the mention of it can sometimes be enough, so yeah.
Yeah, Arya's claustrophobic.
Okay, so it's only the staircases that are like that, they open up into kind of wider rooms and such. So the first staircase will take you down about 20 feet.
How long's that going to take?
Not long at all. Bear in mind that you move a brisk pace of 30 feet per round. I would say casually walking, half that. So you're talking just over about 10 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Unless, of course, you quicken your pace, at which point it would be 6 seconds, boom, done. You're down the bottom of it.
Yeah, Arya would quicken her pace.
Okay. So as you're walking down, Sheila, you see Arya kind of at the top of these stairs. As soon as they descend, they kind of speed up a little bit. You hear them quicker breathing. The one thing you will both notice, though, is even just at this part, it is noticeably warmer. Not to the point of, like, discomfort, but enough that it's noticeable. Like stepping out of your house into a hot summer day.
I'm from summer, I'm fine.
The dungeons here are... They're not massive. You've got maybe about 60 foot of walkway in front of you. It is like stone paved, so it's not just the natural stone of the mountain. Stone slabs have been brought down here to make almost like flagstones to walk on. The dungeons themselves are one of the few instances where you've seen metal being heavily used. Proper, thick, wrought iron bars. The kind of ones that, like, even incredibly strong people would not be able to bend just because of the density of them. Like, real thick iron. I would also mention the smell of burning. It can be like coal burning can be smelled here at this point. Very, very faint, but you know, both of you have probably stepped foot near a blacksmith at some point in your lives. That scent is very noticeable. The smell of fuel being burnt. Is there anything you guys would like to look at further here at this dungeon level, or would you like to just continue on?
Unless anything particularly sticks out, Arya's just trying to... This is not a fun place for her, so she's trying to get moving on.
Okay.
Sheila's good.
Sheila's good, alrighty. Then you make your way forward and you get to the second staircase. Now, even just approaching, because this staircase is it has been chiselled into the ground. It has been like the ground has been broken away and a staircase has been built, and it's a very, very different staircase from the one you came down. This one is definitely, this has been tool made, not just like, dug out using bare minimum tools to get down here. This is what I guess you would call it professionally done. These are like properly monoblocked stairs. And
also narrow?
Not as narrow. I'd say it's comfortable, but still a one person behind the other walking. Even approaching this hole in the ground, there is a noticeable increase in heat, and this one is a dry heat. It's one of those ones that, like, when you open the oven door and the heat just hits you right in the face, it's like that. It's that kind of heat. And there's distinctly more light coming from here, like a real, at the moment, a kind of dim orange glow, but distinctly more light deeper down into this staircase.
I guess we're gonna go.
Yeah?
Yeah. Sheila, would you mind just confessing as we're walking? I think that'll kind of help me a little bit. This isn't the worst, but not the best either. Maybe you could tell me about some gossip you heard in court earlier. I mean, I'm not really interested in that stuff, but I know you enjoy it. Anything interesting, or how did the test with Gareth go for the scale? I know with Tinkledeath you had to, feel something, given an emotional memory, which makes sense with what she represented. And I know with the tablet, I'm assuming Gareth represented body. Did you have to, lift weights or something?
No.
Okay. Any interesting court gossip?
I mean, everyone's dying upstairs, so that's something.
I meant before everyone was dying.
I mean, gossip kind of seems minuscule compared to that, eh?
True. Mostly just trying to look for something to keep my mind off of how cozy it is here. Having someone to talk to helps.
Good thing.
It's funny. I haven't sung in front of people since I was a little girl. Found out that an instrument's a lot harder to shut up than a voice.
I mean, you always have a voice on you.
True, but you'd be surprised the lengths that some people can go to silence a voice.
Up to you.
That will be the first time you guys hear this big, heavy strike of metal on metal. Like cacophonous, echoing up these stairs.
Are we there yet then, or is it still kind of far?
Have you went into the stairs yet? Because as far as
I mean, I imagine this is us going down. Like, we're talking as we're going down.
Right, okay. So if you are heading down the stairs into the forge at this point, it's fairly deep down. Not quite as deep as the big staircase chiseled into the side of the cave where you met Atuma. But you're still talking a good maybe 70 feet down.
Okay.
Hello, you.
I guess just to kind of... Astrid!
Come to say hello?
La princesa!
Yeah. You say hiya?
Hiya. Oh, she's got a Bluey shirt on!
Yeah, she loves Bluey. Obsessed with it. Right. Say bye-bye.
Honestly, fair.
Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Right, okay. On you go. Run along.
So cute.
But
yeah, we've got a ways to go. You said you could hear the hammer?
Yeah, you can audibly hear hammer hits ringing at this point, like properly echoing reverberation off of these still very stone walls down here. But they've now changed, not just the kind of red stone of the mountain itself. There's like a combination of stalactites and stalagmites that are of more like volcanic rock, and the heat definitely alerts you to the fact that there is definitely the presence of magma nearby you here.
Okay, hands to yourself then. Okay, well, I guess since Sheila brought it up and she doesn't seem to mind, just kind of help keep her mind off. Arya's gonna kind of listen to for the rhythm of that hammering, and just kind of swallow and try to think of a song, like maybe some kind of folk song that matches that cadence. And she is, for the first time in years, gonna sing in front of someone. And you hear kind of a very, at first insecure, but then kind of gaining confidence as she sings more. Very kind of almost angelic kind of voice. Very, very kind of that bright, full soprano kind of voice. As she kind of sings and tries to distract herself.
Okay.
There's not enough space to do violining here without knocking my elbow into something possibly magma-esque.
All right. So with you now kind of singing a little bit to try and keep the spirits up, you can hear the sound of gouts of flame coming up from this magma ahead of you. You can now see it is like a full-on forge. There is a figure, very, very broad-shouldered, typical blacksmith kind of build. Not really all that tall. Not like Automeladrin tall. Fairly average height, but definitely not average build. They are at least both of you and Kernan wide. And I'm not talking about just the shoulders, I'm talking about they chunky. They are built they're built like religiously accurate Thor. You know? They got thick tree trunk legs, big arms. Just the way they move, you can tell they carry loads and loads of mass around this centre area, and you can see this huge set of horns peeling. I'm talking real big, chunky horns. Their skin has the kind of russet tones of the Automeladrin, but none of that kind of grey to it, where Automeladrin almost look like a kind of grey-scaled down reddish brown colour. This person just looks completely red.
Do they have pointed ears like the last
No.
one? Or round ones like humans?
Well, not that you can see from this distance. But the hammer that they're lifting above their head and striking is a big hammer. To many who would take this kind of thing into battle, they would call it a warhammer. But he's swinging it like it's a blacksmith's hammer. This guy's just smacking with it. And I would like you guys to make for me, I guess your choices, perception or investigation checks.
Let's see. My perception's better. Go with... 13,
12.
18?
18 on what did you say there, Arya?
On perception.
18 on perception, okay. And Sheila?
That was perception as well.
What did you roll, sorry?
Sorry, 12.
12? Okay. So Sheila, for whatever reason, not a lot of this soaks into you. Perhaps it's just that it's too bright, too warm, too much noise, whatever. Arya, you will see that this being, whoever they are working with something that is glowing hot on their anvil, but they are not wearing what you would perceive as gloves. They seem to just be handling this white hot item in their bare hands. And there's, and I say this with like, you know, with a little pinch of salt, but for the sake of like showing the level of what they're working at, it's almost like Tolkien dwarf level of how they're working. There is not just simple, just this hammer and then a little machine here. There's like large clashing pieces of apparatus above him, where every now and again he'll just lift this so that it gets caught in between them and creates enough force to kind of shape it the way he's wanting it to, before he brings it back down and starts hamming at it again. So so that was a random sound effect that just played in the background there. Sorry about that, guys. That's not meant to be there. He will perceive you as you guys come down. His head will raise up. He'll look at you with eyes that themselves from this distance look as if they're burning with embers. And he speaks in a voice that is definitely not Autumn Eladrin or Autumn Fae. Very deep, very booming voice. But for him, could be just him talking quietly. Could just be this place echoing. And he's going to say, if you've come here for the hammer, it's not ready yet.
Oh. Hello, by the way. I'm Arya. What, may I call you?
Did you not hear me? It's not ready yet.
Oh, I know. I just figured I'd introduce myself, be polite. I don't want to, you know, be rude by just calling you hey you, especially an artisan of your clear skill.
I'm not used to talking. And he says that as if that's enough to end. And then he just kind of nods and goes like, you know, trundles his way back over towards a bench and starts working on something again. This time he's went from using such a big hammer on this main piece he was working on to now using like really small and intricate tools, but using them equally in comparison.
Wow. If I may ask, I'm sorry to bother. I know you probably have a lot of work to do. Just so you know, how long might it be possibly till the hammer is ready? Of course, not to rush your work, just to get a sort of rough estimate.
Could be another day, maybe two.
Ah. Well, out of curiosity, you wouldn't happen to have any other sort of magic imbued items of equal sort of like plonking power that we could maybe temporarily borrow just to smash something really bad we got from a evil necromancer?
He. What's your passive insight, guys?
Passive insight, I believe
Yes.
is 17, but let me just double check. 17, yeah.
17 for you, Sheila.
20.
20. Okay. Arya, as far as you're concerned, it looks like he's thinking. Sheila, this person is not comfortable with conversation. They're the kind of person that turns and says, it's not ready yet, and expects you to leave. A prolonged conversation is something that is, one, not something they do very often, two, something that is making them not quite know how to approach anything. Like, because this conversation is ongoing, they have now frozen and are just like, they don't know how to compute. So they just kind of look at you, Arya, and
Maybe we should just go.
there's I need
Oh, I'm so sorry. Am I making you uncomfortable? I'm sorry. I tend to be a bit of a chatterbox.
I don't talk often. There's only two things here. One of them was supposed to be given for some kind of gift, and the other one is experimental.
Ooh, what kind of experimental? If you don't mind my asking. Or if you're not comfortable talking about it, maybe you could show us, demonstrate some of your work?
The fact that you've asked him about something he's made is almost like there's almost like a switch in his brain. It's like, oh, that's something I can talk about.
Common ground.
And he will say, it's a weapon that, if it works, is capable of bypassing magical protection. If it doesn't work, it could sap away any and all protection of the person wielding it.
Oh, that's fascinating. But now, what do you want to get us just right for its use? I can understand wanting to protect something that you made. I'm a bit of an artisan myself, just with music rather than metal.
I don't listen to music.
By choice or by circumstance? Because that seems a little insane to me.
I don't hear a lot of music.
I'm so sorry. Would you like to hear some music while you work for a little bit? I'd be happy to play for you. No one should be deprived of music.
That's not something I can say. Roll me the persuasion check.
Yeah, because like to Ari, it's like a life without music, and also me too. Persuasion.
Roll
Okay,
me
I'm
a
gonna
persuasion
go with
check. I want to see where this goes.
Bismillah. That's cocked. Oh, okay. That was 19 plus 8.
19 plus 8, so 27.
Yeah.
Okay, what is
Okay,
your
that's okay.
persuasion? Your persuasion modifier is 8. Of
That is
course,
a
you
plus
just gave me
8.
that. Okay, meets it, beats it. So, yeah. He will kind of, I mean, it's a free place. You can do what yeah. He just kind of goes into grumbling and just kind of like gestures wildly with his hands, as if like he's not saying yes please. He's going, if you want to,
Okay.
I'm not going to stop you.
All right then. Sheila, you want to make it a duet or? Up to you.
Can I borrow your hammer for a second?
um, it did that thing where it hit the nat 20 and then shifted round to the 2. So
Ah!
this no, this was like a saving throw. So it was like nat 20. Nope, it's a 2. So he kind of like, and he looks at like this hammer, which comparatively to the size of you, Sheila, I hope you don't mind me being presumptuous. This is like a war hammer. This is not some. I mean, actually, I suppose you weave around a greatsword. So, yeah, he will hold it out to you.
Thank you.
Okay, Sheila, can I ask you, what is your strength score? Not your
No.
modifier, your score.
Not great. My strength is 10.
10. Okay, cool. So we're not in minuses. That's okay. There's definitely, like, this thing does not look as if it should weigh this much. It's definitely like a kind of one of those ones where you have to kind of, you know, you kind of have to heft it up and prepare for the weight. But once you've got it, you're there with it. But this hammer feels like it is vibrating. As if the hammer wants to do something.
Well, you liked the rhythm earlier. Sheila will set a tempo.
Okay, steady
The
tempo.
Okay, so Sheila is
Alright.
adding the tempo. Arya, you are playing music.
Yeah. I'm gonna play something that's very kind of like, she's gonna think to like things she heard from maybe like some of the gruffer kind of people she met on the road, but like maybe like almost like a work song kind of thing, but like that still has a lot of heart to it. So she's gonna start playing something like that switches like very fiddle kind of thing, but like has like a lot of kind of like almost like pride in where you come from kind of thing. And it's gonna sound like the melody to Valhalla Calling Me, which makes sense with like a steady kind of like hammer kind of rhythm.
Oh, definitely. Hell yeah.
So she's just gonna play that for this person and hope that he enjoys the music.
Okay. He turns his back and goes back to his workings.
Should I roll performance?
Yes, I would like to hear the performance on this. With Sheila giving what is essentially the help action, you will get advantage on this.
Ooh, okay. Okay, with advantage, that is a 15 plus 12. So 15, 16, 27.
27 again. We're off to some good starts here. Whether it's by their own choice or just by the fact of being around with it, Sheila, this person's hammer strikes start to fall into almost like a counter tempo with you. Almost as if yours were forming the bass drum, theirs is forming the snare hits. Like, you know, while yours may be falling on a 4 beat, theirs is falling on every second. Just naturally from it, or if they're making the choice to, you're not entirely sure on that. But as you guys play and such, towards the kind of end of the piece, his hammer strikes will stop, and he will turn round. And he's going to hold out Kojata's hammer. And he has this... He's very... How would I describe how his face naturally sits? Oh, shit! I've got it! Nick Offerman. Ron Swanson.
Oh!
His face naturally sits like very heavy brow... beard bristling, covering his mouth. He speaks, and he'll say, have you ever seen like a cartoon or something where there's an anthropomized walrus, and you never see their mouth when they talk, just their mustache moves? That's what he, like, you don't see his mouth. He speaks and you just that's all you see. So he holds out the hammer and he goes, I fixed it. and he's got this look of confusion on his face, like I don't know how to approach this kind of thing.
Thank you. I'll try to take her strength is shit, but she doesn't want to be rude. She worked so hard on it.
So Kojata's hammer just feels like Kojata's hammer. It is there's no strength requirement to it. The only reason I asked Ash for their strength is because this is not a normal hammer.
Got you.
He will kind of put his hand out to you, Sheila, to get his hammer back.
Thank you.
He takes the hammer back, looks at it just to kind of almost like he's making sure everything's okay, and then he kind of.
I'm glad you liked it.
It was different, but not bad.
Sometimes different can be good. Sometimes looking at things a little sideways can help change your perspective.
His eyes are going to kind of... And he walks over to the table he pointed at with the things earlier on, and he tilts his head sideways. And then he goes, yep. And then he walks away and he gets the weirdest grouping of things that you've probably ever seen together in one thing. So he gets what is like a... So going into like musical things here. So, you know the bit at the bottom of a guitar where the strings come up through before you take them into the tuning pegs? He gets one of them and a load of copper wire, right? He then gets what looks like the pedals, not the pedals, the oh god, what are they called? Tabs that you would get not on an accordion because they have buttons, but on a squeeze box.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, the tabs there. And he also gets a crank handle, like a big old heavy duty one. And he goes, don't move. And he grabs all these things and he grabs this chunk of wood and he just kind of starts, like, you know, over the course of the next 10-15 minutes, this man is like, there's the sound of like wood splitting as he's just like ripping things in half and throwing bits that he's not using into the magma. And then he turns round to you, to both of you, with this god's awful contraption. It's equal parts string instrument, keyed instrument, and also cranking handle. He presents to you what is in essence a really fancy, maybe bigger than average hurdy-gurdy.
I was about to say, is this a hurdy-gurdy?
I just saw one in a music shop earlier today too. That's so funny.
And he just points at it, almost like it's almost like an aggressive, like challenging point, and goes sideways, as if that explains everything.
Sideways.
Sideways.
Thank you.
And then he'll pick it up, and he will put his hand on the tabs, and he'll start to rotate it and press the tabs, and it starts to generate music. It's like a drone, and like as he cranks and doesn't touch anything, there's like a droning note, almost similar to like when, I don't know if you've ever heard a hurdy-gurdy being started up, but it's similar to like bagpipes. When you start to move it, there's a drone that comes in underneath before you start playing. And then he starts to play the tabs on the side of it, and you see that there are like little spikes of metal that come up and just put pressure on the strings as it rotates, and it creates this weird, very like metallic sounding music. After he's kind of fiddled about with it for a bit, he puts it down and he just kind of looks you over and is like, one of you can have it if you want.
Thank you. I'll take it. It's like, that's so generous with him. And, oh, hang on. Don't know how you feel about woodwinds, and she'll reach into her bag, and she got this, like, ages ago, like, this little, like, pantsless or panpipe kind of thing. and she'll like gift it to him as well. You blow through the top, and she'll kind of demonstrate a little.
He takes
And
it.
it's easy to carry around.
He takes it and puts it in his mouth and blows. And you know, like, I don't know if you play woodwind instruments or anything like that, but you blow normally, you create a note, you blow hard, and you create a higher pitch note. So he does that and blows as hard as he can and just makes that really shrill, high pitched note. And then goes, I'll fix it.
It takes practice.
No, it's broken. I'll fix it.
I'm sure you will. Thank you. Oh, sorry, before I forget, you happen to have any medium-sized scale or chainmail that would be good for us to borrow? I might need some for where we're going next. It's pretty dangerous. If you have anything that's a little more easy to move around,
And
then
it starts like
kind of
looking,
depend on flexibility.
looking around, and then goes over to like these on like the far wall of this place. You can just see it's like it's like an early Minecraft base where it's just a wall of chests with all, and he just kind of starts looking through them all. You hear the distant rattling of like swords and weapons and all kinds of things moving around. He like casually picks up like, you know, ingots of metal and like, no, like really throwing things over his shoulder, and then it's like, oh, takes out, like flaps it, and then holds it up to you, Arya, and like levels an eye. Then goes, 1 second. And goes over and puts it down, and just, you know, from his belt, you see that his big wraparound belt that he's got, which looks like the thickness of this thing is like it's like a boxing belt. It's like yay thick, like all around him, and he just kind of starts pulling out tools, and he's pulling out like leather working tools. And he just starts cutting the leather on this thing, and then like making incision holes, stitching them up, pulling like spare bits of leather through to tighten it in and such, and then holds it up and is like, yep, and then throws the sort of what was he asked for, scale?
Yeah, I asked for like either chain or scale, like medium kind of like thing, because like now that I'm also cleric, I can like use that as armor too.
So yeah, he'll throw you.
I think that like the
throw you a
lightweight
set
one is
scale.
like mid, yeah, like a chain shirt or something like that. Awesome.
So if it's a chain shirt you're looking for, then he can throw you a chain shirt. If it's like a set of like scale armor,
Basically something that adds a little more to my armor class, since I can do medium armor now, but like I know Arya and she like relies on like dexterity a lot, so something that's not going to impose that.
So in that case, so as much as they are both medium armor sets, in order to make it make sense, it's probably better saying like scale, because it'll have the leather backing on it. There'll be a lot more maneuverability.
Okay,
if you've ever wore just a chainmail shirt, there's some real heavy wearing on that.
Arya needs to be able to
yup,
be movable.
heavier than you look.
She wants to be protected, but she relies on being sinewy.
Okay, so you can add a set of scale mail into it. The scale mail
Awesome.
in itself is going to be magical.
Ooh.
It's not massive amounts of magic, it's just a set that was there. But you will have resistance to fire damage while wearing this skill.
That would be great, especially after I got set on fire just the other day. Sorry, for mechanics in D&D Beyond, which one would I put that under for my inventory?
So what to do is just put that you just add on just a set of scale mail, and then just if you go into your resistances in D&D Beyond, you'll be able to add on that you'll be able to add on a resistance to fire damage.
Okay, so regular scale mail, equipped, and then resistance, fire damage. Got it.
So
cool.
That should be I don't know I don't know about it on your phone. I know that in the actual character page, your resistances are top right. You should see what you're resistant to.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
I'll put
I don't
that
know
in.
why I'm saying that, because I should be able to go in and add it for you. So I can do that.
Oh, perfect.
Um,
And I'll take out my little flute too, since I gifted it to our artisan friend now.
is there anything else you guys would like to do?
We got the hammer, we got a cool homemade hurdy-gurdy, got some scale mail. I think I'd just say thank you, and have a good day, and shall we, Sheila?
Nothing else?
Sounds good. No?
Okie dokie. So you guys can begin making your way back upstairs to the world of the sick and dying.
Joy Bunny. At least the heap was nice for clearing out our pores.
At this point, I would like us to go to... Who do I want to go to first? Who do I want to go to first? I know who I want to go to first. I want to go to Elion and Kernan. Sitting upstairs. Just chilling. So, Elion. As they are making their way back up the stairs towards here, you and Kernan are still just sitting watching this thing. The wind whistles by as you are sitting quite high up. There's not a lot of roof on this floor left, so loads and loads of winds and the sound of aerial creatures whistling by. And Kernan is going to turn. And he's just going to... So, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Right. So, the whole summer but now not summer thing. How's that treating you?
Terribly.
Like, because... Alright, I'm trying to think of the political way to say this, but I'm not politically minded. So, well, you're not a bastard.
No, my parents were betrothed.
Oh yeah, I forgot, you fancy people, there's an actual meaning to the word bastard, other than just being, an arsehole. What I mean is, are you not kind of glad to be rid of that, over your shoulder? I have brought you up to be a weapon, and now you will do it and burn everybody. Are you not is that not like a weight off your chest?
No, it's not. If anything, it's terrifying. The first time I feel truly alone.
Well, thanks for that. There was me thinking we were getting along.
You're welcome, Kinnan.
Do you have anybody you can talk to at all? Like, to clarify, what I mean is anybody who has a brain cell.
Not really. One, but one that I truly can talk to, but she's not here.
Where is she? We could go visit if you like. I feel like that would be helpful to you.
I actually don't know. We were put on different paths.
Would you like help finding where they are?
Not while I look like this.
I mean, if you ask me, it's an improvement. Like, just honest. Like, I think the whole, dark and brooding thing looks great on you. I mean, I could see you wearing a cape and like standing on the edge of buildings, and I am the terror that walks in the night. I am the dark hero, and I know. I see you somehow taking on the moniker of some kind of winged rodent.
Sugar glider man.
See, I was thinking more along the lines of like, I am flying squirrel man.
Well, first of all, I think everything looks good on me. Apart from like beige, not really my color.
Let's be honest, beige doesn't look good on anybody. If beige looks good on you, I immediately think that is like a red flag. Sorry, guys. Sorry. A little bit of me bled through there.
No, I agree. Beige is the color of a yawn.
No, yawns can sometimes be enjoyable. Beige is the colour of a sneeze that doesn't happen.
Oh, you're right, that's where.
I would like to point out beige looks good on Sheila.
Yeah, but Sheila's also smart enough that she would never wear beige.
At least not just beige.
Ash just went true.
You know what that just reminded me of?
What?
What are you wearing? Khakis. She sounds hideous.
I have no idea what that is. Sorry.
Let's face it,
It's an
Sheila would
insurance
wear.
commercial.
Oh,
Let's
right.
face it, Sheila would wear all designer clothes. Like in the fan art I made of our modern versions, I gave her like all designer kind of like base outfits, including a Dolce & Gabbana belt.
I think so. Sorry to get off topic here, guys, but it's been opened up. I see Sheila as being. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what if I was to assign everyone a brand. For some reason, when I picture Sheila, I don't picture Dolce. I picture classic, like classic, simplistic, but simplistic, heightened simplicity. I picture Chanel. Like you know the level I'm sitting at here. Kernan is like that like Aldi home brand stuff that's just like it's built for purpose, and he's like it's like the boots that cost like £15 but will last you 20 years. He's like, yeah.
Perfect.
It would be that brand that like
Alion's
is named after
100.
the.
Elion used to wear Nikes, and now he wears now he wears Vans.
I fucking hate Vans.
He did. He used to shop in like Sports Direct, and now he shops at like fucking what's the American store, because we don't have it over here. Hot Topic.
We're gonna get Ellie into Crocs.
I fucking love Crocs.
Reverie
I love Crocs.
Reverie doesn't have a brand. Reverie buys all their clothing from crochet people on Etsy. And is completely cottage covered up. And
Yes.
Arya is the kind of person that at one all their clothes have labels, but her clothes have all been doctored and added onto. Like they're like the rich kid who now lives on their own, has all the clothes from their rich past, but doesn't talk to their family. So they just have all these clothes with all these labels, but they've just added to them over the years. Sheila's
DIYs for sure.
Sheila's the only one who's got clothes, and it's like there's like a spill mark on it. It's like, oh, well, I now have to go home and change because that's just not appropriate. But they're not quite to the level of, oh, it's been spilled on, that means I have to throw it out. They're not at that level yet. They're at the level of it has to be professionally cleaned and I have to change, but I acknowledge this can be saved.
My father taught me well.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Sheila's dad is the kind of guy who's like rich but still wears like ripped jeans. Like,
what about her mom?
Exact same, right? The brothers are probably the kind of guys who wear sweaters tied around their necks.
Oh God!
They're the kind of guys that take Instagram pictures at race days. Like they've got the full tweed suits and brown shoes, but they only wear them at race days. Like that's 100% our brothers.
The rest of the year they wear Barbara.
100%. But your dad is 100% the kind of guy who's like filthy, stinking rich. But like his favourite thing to get to eat is like a sausage roll at a Greg's.
Amanda taste.
You love it.
Your mum's slightly higher class when it comes to her food, but we're not talking massively higher class. We're talking
Scales.
like Burger King, but not like Five Guys. You know, like salt of the earth rich people. The kind of people that have a mansion, but you speak to them and go, "You're out there, duck."
To be fair, considering how long she's also been adventuring, she kind of has to be practical, so it makes sense.
This digressed.
This tangent either way. I was going to ask a question there from Kiernan. I was going to make a point. Yeah, we were talking about people wearing beige. That was it. Kiernan is going to kind of take a step towards the portal, take his axe, reach out, kind of tap the edge of it, and then look in the portal as if like, nope. What do you reckon happens if we throw something in there?
It goes through.
Grabs like a piece of rubble and throws it through the portal, and it just. And he's like, do you ever get worried about portals, like you step through them and you're just gonna like be cut in half or something?
Not particularly. I mean, it can happen, but the user has to will that, so.
I don't like this portal all of a sudden.
Like, if you're crawling through and they decide to close it, you will...
No. No. I'm not crawling through a portal ever in my life. Ever. If it is too small for me to step through at a small crouch, I will not be going through it. That's not happening. And he almost gets like panicky and is like, Elion, you can't let me ever be cut in half by a portal, alright? You can't let it ever happen.
Well, that's unfair, though, because you're like twice the size of most portals. So you're going to have to compromise at some point.
It comes up to you. You cannot ever let me be cut in half by a portal.
What am I to do?
Stop the
I
portal
agree.
grab hold of the portal and stop it from closing.
I'd lose my fingers.
No, see, I reckon you can do it.
Your faith in me is unwavering and very gratifying. And also completely misplaced.
I don't think my faith in much of anything is misplaced.
I will try my best to make sure you are not severed from waist down by a magical portal.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Who do you think would win in a fight? A baby dragon or a bear?
What coloured dragon is it? Because that's very important.
I always forget. I always get dragons and rainbows mixed up. Red, yellow, pink, green. Are there purple dragons?
Possibly.
We'll go with the safe one, because I know that there's red in a rainbow and red dragons. Red.
Well, it depends.
Depends on.
When you say baby, do you mean freshly hatched or do you mean worm? As in capable of flight?
Not capable of flight, but can breathe fire.
Bear.
Really? No,
Because bears do not care if they are currently on fire. They only care if they can't reach you.
It's actually true. There's only one way I've ever found that you can guarantee that you're going to get a bear to run away from you. Do you know the rule of how to deal with bears? If it's brown, lie down. If it's black, fight back. If it's white, say goodnight.
Right. But white bears don't exist, Kinnan.
Well, obviously you just didn't get brought up with the warnings we got brought up with, because we were told that if you're ever out in winter and you see like a patch of black in the snow and it just suddenly disappears, you just accept your death. Because I heard a rumor, right? I heard a rumor that white bears are smart enough to cover their noses when they're hunting.
That's not true.
Interesting zoological fact. That is true. They'll fucking do it. They've actually been photographed coming up on seals like this. It's fucking true, by the way. I go, no. I swear to you. I swear. I swear on my antlers. They'll get you. They'll get you like that. They bloody will. Is there anything that you would like to do up here, Ella? And again, I bring it back to the jovial conversation, but purely as a way of getting to the... I don't want to just be ignoring you. Is there anything you would like to do while you're up here? Because so far all you guys have done is sat and watched a portal.
I'm going to... Again, about 5 or 10 minutes later, kind of prompt Kinnan. I have a question.
Oh, go for it. I'll answer anything.
You are Reverie's confidant.
I don't entirely know what that word means.
She tells you a lot.
Oh, yeah.
She hasn't, looked at me for, a day. She's been really weird.
Did you say or do anything out of character before she stopped looking at you?
No? I mean, I did something... There's a thing, but, it's not out of character.
Well,
It's perfectly within my personality.
Perfectly within your personality. Right, okay, well, what was it? What did you do?
Well, I did something that I didn't realize was a good thing at the time. I tried to scam a load of noble people out of all their money. And it worked. I convinced them to send all of the wedding gifts for the Primarchs to my room. But unknowingly, Reverie had figured out that one of those was the hag's bomb, hence why we blew up in my bedroom.
So you're the reason I nearly fell to my death.
Yeah.
You're also the reason I didn't fall to my death, so I can't kind of balances out. Continue.
But Kinnan, you know I'm a playful person.
I don't like where this is going.
So her exact words verbatim were, "You've done really well. I could kiss you." And I said, "Well, if you're going to offer, either leave or do it." And then she did it and turned invisible and ran away.
Right, so you know the Disney movie Zootopia,
right?
And you've got the leopard who's at the front desk, and that face he makes when he finds out that the chief likes the singer, and he goes. Kiernan makes that face, and he's just like, "You and Reverie."
No, not well. Yes, but not really. It's a dare.
Yeah, you're right. And he's going to turn around and go, "Elion, I dare me to slap you," and then he's going to slap you in the face, and he goes, "But that's not really a slap, is it? Because it's a dare."
No.
Are you cracked in the head, lad?
It's
Wait, do you think because it's a dare, it just like doesn't count? So I could just
It's
like
camaraderie.
So I could dare myself to throw you out the window, and then throw you out the window. If you land, break all your bones, and you say, "Karen, why would you do such a thing?" I would go, go on. It's only crack. It was a dare. That's not how it works.
That's extreme. This is playful jest.
Oh, so there's levels to it, is there? No,
Yes.
No, you're just trying. You're trying to pave over a hole that's already been dug, lad. All right. You dared her. She did it. Okay.
Well, the reason I think.
Also, it's not actually a dare because you didn't say to her, "I dare you to do it." You said, "Do it or leave." She made a choice. She did it. I guess I have to. Did you kiss back?
We're veering off topic. Answer the question.
No, we're not. No. We are decisively on topic. Did you kiss back?
I'm uncomfortable with this conversation.
He jumps up. One hand says chair out the missing wall. There's people down there that just see a chair fly out the top of this ruined path. He's like, I fucking knew it.
I think it got worse because there was a context of we had a date, but the date was like a fake date because I'm an asshole.
What do you mean? Oh my god, Elion, sometimes you speak to me and I'm like, this guy's cool, and sometimes you speak to me and like, I can see why people murder their best friends. Oh, Elion, I need you to give a yes or no answer on this, okay? Because I have very high emotions and very low intelligence. When Reverie kissed you, did you kiss back? And he's actually going to like grab your head and go, yes or no.
Briefly.
Oh my! I fucking hate you, Summerlot. So then, like, I right, okay. Now that we've established the fact that there was a kiss, like, she's maybe not speaking to you because maybe in a very similar state as you, she's questioning what happened. Maybe you should do, I don't know, the thing that everybody should do if they feel that way about someone: speak to them.
But it was a dare.
I will stab you. I do not
You could
have
try.
something to. I do not have something to stab with at this moment in time, but I will find something to stab with, and I will stab you. Or at the very least, I will find something heavy and metal, and I will whack you in the head with it.
Okay.
It sounds to me like you should probably just speak to Reverie.
Yeah, but there's the whole thing of I have really bad news, and if I do that conversation first, it might be like using that to soften the bad news, which is manipulative.
We've already spoken about this. It's not entirely bad. It's bad, but it's not like it's just about how you bring it up. All right? You going and saying, "By the way, a thought has just occurred to me." That's not you going, "Oh, by the way, guys, I plotted your downfall a third time." Wahaha!
You're right.
Your problem, Elion, and I love you to bits. I do that. You're grand. Your problem is you dig holes for yourself, and then you willingly jump in them. You need to talk. You need to talk to Reverie. That's what you need to do. You need to talk to
She
Reverie.
won't talk to me. She won't even look at me.
I'm fairly sure if you walk up to her and go, "Hey, we need a chat," she's not going to go, "I don't think that's a good idea," and walk away. Okay, she might do that, but still, you still have to try and talk to her. Talking to me about why you kissed Reverie is not going to give you an answer.
I didn't, and she did it to me.
And you just said that you kissed back, so you kissed Reverie.
Briefly.
It
Only-
doesn't matter how briefly you did it. You
Only
still
to not
did it.
be, only to not be rude.
So there's no emotion behind it. You did it just to
There's
not be rude.
emotion. There's emotion behind
Oh,
everything.
no, no, there's not. Oh, no, there is not. There's not. There's not emotion behind everything. There's not. I'm sorry. I'm not willing to accept that. No, there's not.
Really?
No, there isn't emotion behind everything. When you kissed back, did you kiss back to be polite, or did you kiss back because you wanted to kiss back?
Yes.
You're a prick. If you like Reverie, go tell Reverie.
I don't know.
How can you not know? When you
Oh,
look
so-
when you look at her, do your palms get sweaty?
No.
Do you feel like you can't breathe?
Are you okay?
Does your chest go all tight and you go?
You might need to see Reverie. Do you need medical attention?
No, I don't need medical attention.
I think what you're describing is a heart arrhythmia.
Listen, don't you use my own weakness against me, right? I have a transient idiopathic arrhythmia, and I will not have it wielded against me in such a blatant way. Kiernan is going to go, no, I don't have a heart arrhythmia. Alright, I don't. I just, whenever I look at Sheila, I get this little, fluttery feeling in my chest. And sometimes it gets a little bit, it's not like hard to breathe, but it's like, like when you look at something that's really nice and then you forget to breathe.
No.
Okay, there may not be emotion behind everything, because right now you sound dead.
I point to the gap.
Have you ever, I don't know, had fun?
Yeah.
When you look at Reverie, do you get that same kind of feeling?
I did when we sparred.
He's just going to pick up his axe and walk out of the room just like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. He's going to be like, I will be back in like half an hour.
Okay. Thank you.
You are welcome.
I would just like to point out, Kiernan talking about feelings and crushes to the ace in the whole of the party gave him less of an aneurysm than talking to this kid.
Anything that you want to do here early on at this point, or am I moving on?
No, I'm good.
Okay, cool. Moving right along. We're going to jump to Ash's face. Now you did not see that coming. Hi ho. Moving on to a Reverie.
Yes.
So, Reverie. Reverie, what are you doing right now? Are you easy to find? Let's see.
I'm in the bath, so yeah. I'm in that sauna room. I'm the only one left in the sauna room.
Okay. After about 15 minutes, Kiernan is going to enter, and he's walking with like a real, purposeful stride. And as he comes in, he kind of looks around and he sees you. He just points and marches over to you. He's like, "You! Hello. I hope you're okay. Why are you not talking to Elion?"
That's a very long-winded
No,
answer.
it's not. It's not. It's really simple. It's really easy. Okay, I'm not doing this a second time. You two kissed, right? And then you haven't spoken since. Why?
Okay. Let's say
Oh dear God! Not this
you
again.
and Sheila. Let's say you and Sheila went on a date, right?
I don't think
Sheila
we've
said it
ever
was a
had
date. You didn't know it was a date
Right,
until
okay.
Sheila said it was a date.
That happens
But because
a lot.
Yeah.
Sheila
okay.
says things,
And then-
I'm just like, oh, I didn't realize. Okay, cool.
And then whenever you go off alone, right? Sheila is right there. Randomly. Okay?
Okay,
And then you find out that Sheila did all of that to then report it to someone else, endanger your family, then they turn around and stand up for you, but also they got cut off from the guy who they endangered your family for. So is it because they want to do that, or because, you know, they have nothing else? And then they tell you to kiss them.
Okay, it sounds to me, right, based on my limited conversational patterns, because I may or may not have had conversations with other parties privy to this situation. I cannot name my co-conspirators is the wrong word.
I know you talked to Elian because Elian's the only other person that's
I'm
knows about
bad
that.
at lying, Reverie. I am not
No,
good at it.
I was invisible when the kiss happened, so he's
So you're
the
telling me
literally the
you're
only
telling me
person
somewhere
who.
there's a possibility that some people just saw Elion open mouth kiss the air. That's
Yes.
fantastic. Anyway, right. It sounds to me like he made some dumb decisions. And there's probably been more dumb decisions made that he's not realised yet. But when it came down to it, he made the choice that was the right choice. And he lost a lot because of it.
Right, but can you understand why I am having a difficult time grappling with that on top of everything else that's happening?
Yeah, I can, yes. Is it a shit move that what he did put us in a bit of trouble? Yeah. Would we be in more trouble if he hadn't did what he did? Yeah.
Yes, but I haven't had time to even think about that, considering everything has happened rapid fire.
Okay. That makes perfect sense. See, I don't see why people can't just talk like you. You ask a question, you get an answer. It's great. You don't ask a question and get 5 in return.
Oh, I'm guessing he gave you the runaround.
Oh, he does not know the definition of yes or no.
No, no, he doesn't. That's why the whole date thing. And then he told me I remind him of his sister. So like, what? How am I
Oh
supposed
no, that's
to like?
weird. That's
That's
some
thank you.
that's some, oh well, I suppose he's from Summer.
Ew, ew. So like, what? How am I supposed to?
Hashtag the Lannisters are definitely from Summer. Anyway, hashtag it's not that. Hashtag it's still not the worst because the Targaryens are definitely from Autumn.
Hey, Jamie's still the best swordsman though.
Excuse me,
So
I'm going to introduce you to something called Arthur Dane, and you're going to sit the fuck down and stay shut, right?
Okay, top three.
Sorry, Reverie, please continue.
so as you can see, I can't get an honest answer from him about anything. So it's very hard for me to process that. In the same way, you couldn't get an honest answer from him about anything, I guess.
See, it would just be a whole load easier if people just didn't lie. I
yeah.
don't lie, and it's really easy.
I've only done it when I've had to, like with the whole Giants thing.
Oh no, I don't even lie in that situation. I will actively put myself in danger through telling the truth. It happens an alarming amount.
That's because you're just honest to the very core of you.
I'm also really dumb.
Yeah, but your honesty is so respectable.
I don't see the point in lying. What's the point?
I don't know. Ask Elian. He seems to do it for a living, even to himself.
At that point, Kernan's face is going to go from its quite eccentric, emotional moment right now and go kind of soft, and he's going to go. He was bred for one thing. He was taken as a child and raised to be one thing. That's all he's ever known. What he did isn't great, Reverie, but you can't really hold that against him.
I'm not trying to, but it's very hard to look someone in the eye who you just kissed, who has caused a lot of emotional damage.
I don't think it's just you. I think there's a fair few faces who are having a hard time realising. But the lad's alone.
I know, and I'm not saying I don't. I'm not saying I dislike Ellen. I don't.
He's certainly
I'm
a
just-
grade 8 dick.
Yeah, but sometimes it's very funny when it's not directed at you.
I also find being a grade A dick kind of endearing because, like, nobody is better at being a dick in a great way than Sheila.
Yeah, they are. They are kind of very similar.
Oh, they are more similar than they want to admit.
I don't think you'll ever get either one of them to. So, but yeah, I don't in any way dislike them. I just think he needs to figure himself out a little bit before that can be addressed. Because I think, well, up until the kiss, I was thinking a lot of his flirtations were just to get information, and now I don't think he even knows himself. So, meanwhile, I'm confronting about 17 childhood fears, all rolled up into one in a 48-hour period. So I'm doing great. On top of that,
He will just kind of rub at his neck and then, like, don't really know what to say to that, to be honest.
yeah, I don't know what to do. I wanted to be angry at Elian, and don't tell him that I'm not, because I don't know at this point. I know it's not entirely his fault. Soldiers can only do so much outside of orders. And I respect that he saw that what was happening was wrong and took a stand. I respect the hell out of that. I don't think he knows. And I'm not going to, no offense, put myself out there for nothing. Especially when it was, my first kiss. So.
Just to confirm, that wasn't your first kiss? That's not what you just said there,
That-
right?
Yes, that was my first kiss.
Oh. Okay. That is information that is new.
I took my work duties very seriously, and then I lost my wings. I had to learn how to rewalk again. That took a lot of time. And romance wasn't something that was on my mind until recently. So, yeah. It's very awkward. I feel awkward now. And she kind of just slowly starts to sink into the water.
He's just gonna. Don't feel awkward. It's absolutely fine. I just didn't know. Now I know. Nothing's changed. It's just new information. That's all it was. I don't want you to feel awkward. Alright? I wanted to know what the situation was with you two because, well, shit is hitting the fan. And I would like it if everybody's on kind of at least a page where we don't want to kill each other in our sleep.
I don't want to kill him in his sleep. I just... I don't know. I don't know. He's a lot of things. And I'm not going to say I don't find him attractive or charming, but I'm having a very hard time with everything else. So.
Well, if you ever need to talk, I'm here. Alright?
Thanks, Kieran. Yeah, it's been difficult. Oh, we have someone new for the whole going to spring for the trees that will be joining us.
Oh! Who's that?
Primarch Koljata's brother. Kick, but I'm calling him Kiki.
Kiki.
I'm calling him Kiki.
Okay, Kiki.
I think he's taller than you, Kieran.
Gonna narrow his eyes. I do not like this person.
Well, you haven't met him. I think you two are gonna get along really well.
That's my thing, Reverie. That is my thing. I am tall.
No, your thing is being stout of heart, I would say. You have a determination that is truly.
He's going to narrow his eyes when you say stout and go, is that a short joke?
No. Why would I make a short joke? You're like 6 of me standing on top of each other.
I don't know how I feel about this person.
Well, you have to meet him. I think you two are going to get along really well. He's very nice, and he's very worried about his sister.
I reserve judgment.
Okay, that's okay. I think you two are going to be fast friends.
We will see.
He should be back any minute.
I do not have time. I am going to go and stretch.
You don't want to meet him?
No, I do not. I do not.
Oh, okay.
At that point, you can see Kiki coming in behind Kiernan.
Oh, but he's right there.
He's going to turn. He's almost going to see Kiki stands at least half a foot taller than him, and you just see his. You can almost hear his heart crack a little bit. And he's just going to kind of go. He's going to look at you with this face. It's like a puppy dog. He's just his wee golden retriever heart is just shattered. And he's just going to be like, "I'm gonna go."
Oh, Kieran.
He's gonna walk away with a sweet dejected look.
I'm gonna turn to Kiki and go, that was my best friend Kieran. You'll meet him again in a little bit.
Alright. He just kind of looks at him walking out and he goes, did he get some bad news or something? Because, like, he looks awfully upset.
Well, he came to ask me some questions about some personal stuff, and then we got to talking about something else, and I may have told him that you were taller than him, and I don't think he liked it.
I've seen this before, I have. He's got short man syndrome. It happens.
He's used to being the tall one. If anything, I think Elian might get short man syndrome in your presence.
I don't know. I don't really think about my height, to be honest. It's just my height.
I
Oh,
don't really think about mine either.
and he's gonna he's gonna hand you a hammer.
I'm gonna take the new hammer. I'm so excited.
Okay, so it is a war hammer, but war hammers can be wielded one-handed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It has a diamond head, but it's not like Kojata's where it's raw diamond. This is diamond that has been shaped and sculpted. Okay?
Okay.
So as I said, Warhammer, it is a rare Warhammer, so it does have it is magical. It is versatile, so it does 1d8 if you're wielding it one-handed. If you decide to go two-handed, it's 1d10. You have a +2 bonus to attack rolls and damage that you make with this weapon. It also has an extra wee ability to it. After you have expended a spell slot of first level or higher, you and any creatures within of your choice within 10 feet of you get a +2 bonus on saving throws until the end of your next turn.
Oh, this hammer's awesome.
You cannot stack these bonuses, okay? You can't just cast off a whole bunch of them and then just go, hey, would you look at that? We've got +40. No. You got a +2. That's it. And it's creatures within 10 feet of you, okay?
Okay. That's awesome.
This is not a homebrew item. This is something that I found from the Griffin's saddlebag. So if he's a fan of like,
Ooh, they got good shit.
if you're a fan of third party stuff, the Griffin's saddlebag is a great shout. You should go and check them out.
Can confirm they got some awesome stuff.
I will send you details of the item so you know you've got it. Okay.
Yes. How long has it been in the
At
bag?
this point, it'll have been an hour.
Okay. I can get out.
You
Which
can.
I'm going to go. Should we go meet up with everyone then?
Well, I think if we're about to go and head out, then that'd probably be a good idea.
Awesome. Okay.
When I meet everybody, should I be sitting?
No. Actually, I was going to ask, if it's okay with you, so that way neither one of us is getting neck strain while we're talking. Can I just sit on your shoulder?
He's just gonna grin. He's gonna go. That's absolutely fine. I get asked
Okay.
that a lot more often than you think.
Okay. So I'm just gonna like hop on his shoulder, so that way neither one of us are getting painful neck.
At that point, all of you, everybody, no matter where you are, is going to get a message. It's a sending that's going to come from Kesselys. And it just very simply says, try to make sure I'm staying within the 25-word limit here. I'm ready to go. I'm at the war table by the main chamber. We should meet and discuss our plan moving forward. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna look at my new himbo. The war table in the main chamber is where we're all meeting.
Alright then. And he starts, walking with purpose towards it. He switches his maul to the other side so that when he puts it up on his shoulder, it's not like hitting you. To the rest of you, now that you've been, contacted by Kesslys, are you all going to make your way there, or is there something you guys want to do before heading there?
Nah, let's meet our friends.
Oh, good.
Alright. In that case, that brings us quite nicely to a point where we should take our 15-minute break, and when we come back, we'll go into whatever happens there if you guys are ready to just go, or if there's anything that wants to be discussed beforehand. Don't go anywhere, folks. We will see you guys after we have our 15-minute break. Hello everybody, welcome back to part 2 of our lovely little session today. We left off with everybody receiving a message from Kessely's telling them to make their way to the war table. Now I did ask, I will ask again just in case anything's come up, is there anything that any of you guys want to do before you step into here? No? Okay.
All good.
So you guys all arrive at different times, wee sporadic times. Kernan, Kessely's, and when Reverie enters this new guy called Kiki, plus the 4 of yourselves. Makes a total of 7 people. When you guys arrive, Kessely's has already spoken to an Automiladrin, who, like I've described before, the sand on this table can be manipulated to make shapes of pretty much anything. And it's essentially made a map of the Spring Lands. And as she's all come in, Kessely's looks at you, Reverie, sitting on the shoulder of somebody new, and just points and goes, transport or potentially coming along?
Coming along.
Okay. So, this is going to come into the conversation that I wanted us to have. He gestures to a little spot just outside the kind of southern part of the Springlands and says, this is the Furbolg encampment, which has the circle that I can teleport us to. Upon arrival there, we are pretty much directly outside the Springlands. The moment we enter, I don't know what's going to happen. Now, I have good news and I have bad news. Which would you like to hear first?
Bad news. The good one's up into thereafter.
Okay, bad news. The larger a group we take in there, the more things will know we are there.
Okay.
I thought back to when we were last there and that thing attacked. It came after us with more aggression when we grouped together. I am inclined to believe that if a large group goes in, we may attract a lot of attention. We'll have more people to deal with said attention, but I believe that that is what will happen. It is up to you guys to decide whether you want to take more people, take a full group, a full entourage with you, or go in yourselves.
I mean, you're teleporting us, Kessely's, and I mean, I at some point I'm hoping to try and learn the spell, but I haven't learned it yet, so logistically, we'd only be able to do it one time, wouldn't we? So it's probably better to do it as a group. It's more risk, but I don't see how we could do it otherwise.
I mean,
Besides,
going.
this is the first time we've all been together.
I mean,
Safety
going
numbers.
inside. I mean, going inside the forest, Arya. I can bring any number of people to that encampment. I mean, going inside the forest. That will be that will be where things start to get dangerous.
I think it's better to go as a group, but if we have to kind of split up into chunks, we can try and plan out who's best to go with who. Maybe we could split up the clerics into the healers into chunks, or people who like can cast sendings to each other. That way we can stay in communication. That might make the most sense.
I don't think.
Again, I don't like the idea of splitting it, but
I don't think I'm describing what has to happen. Let me be completely blunt and open about it. I do not think anything inside that forest that is friendly is alive. I think the moment that we go in there, doesn't matter how spread out we are, how split up we are, the more life signatures that are detected, the more that will rise to combat it. A small group may be able to go in mostly unnoticed. The more you add in, it's like adding a small beacon of light in the darkness. It's not about breaking up the group, Arya, it's about the number of people going in, period.
What would your numbers suggest constitutes a small group?
4 or 5. You can take any number of things you want in with you, but it's kind of the thing of if you walk in with an army, expect an army to stop you.
Right.
so it's more like, what was that word that Artyom used that one time? Monkey warfare, guerrilla warfare, something like that, where you travel in smaller groups but get to sneak on or something like that. I don't know. I didn't really pay much attention to that stuff.
I don't think that's the correct use of the term guerrilla warfare, but I'm fairly sure the term guerrilla warfare is what he would have said. The good news, however, is I think that there is, however macabre it may sound, I think that there is at least one safe zone in that forest. One zone where nothing will be able to harm us. Harm whoever goes in there if you get to it.
And that would be?
The cave.
Tickle Density.
What I am now inclined to believe was your brother could not enter that cave. When that thing chased us, it disappeared when we got into that cave's vicinity. I believe that cave to be protected.
Makes sense.
The other portion of the bad news is this. I contacted our Furbolg friend, Barry, who is at the encampment, and there was a sighting on the outskirts of that forest.
What sort of sight?
He thinks that he saw a fairly familiar spring eladrin walking around in there. I believe that Killian might be inside that forest.
And we have beef with him, why?
Because he's an arsehole git who betrayed our friendship, left us to die, and was willing to let Spring die, and has really sick, twisted notions of freedom. You know my shit, it's for a reason.
Okay, not talking about me, why are we going after Gillian?
Because
he also works with Magda, who is working with Spring.
And he's the reason why the staff of Four Seasons all split up and stole it. And he tried to blame us.
A long story short, a lot of the situations that are happening right now, this is Kernan speaking, a lot of the situations that are happening right now probably wouldn't be happening if Killian had a moral compass.
Instead of being a raging dickhead.
Bran, that's the dude that was there when we destroyed the tree, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I have met him.
Kernan's old childhood friend.
Manipulative bastard.
Yes. we understand that there are lots of descriptive terms that could be used to describe Killian. However, we don't quite have the time to go through every single colourful and flourished word set that could be used.
We'll just kill him.
At that point, Kiernan will kind of chuckle and go, we've tried at least 3 times.
And that was when he wasn't even trying to take the fight seriously.
If Killian shows up, I'll handle him.
Well, with all due respect, you didn't have me those 3 times.
We had you one of those times.
He just stood there. That wasn't a fight.
Okay, but Kiernan, we do also need you for the Upaz tree.
Well, fine. Either way. If Killian shows up, get what we need. I'll handle him and at least get to the Upaz tree. If he shows up. If not, well, we avoid that. And if we're already done getting stuff and he shows up, then every single one of us jumps on top of him.
At least we know he's there, so he won't surprise us.
At that point, Kesslis will move on and he'll say, as discussed before, we know the location, at least the general location, of each of these trees. We know that the elder trees are on the... And he kind of gestures to the table and how the springlands have been split up into almost rings, containing 4 rings. You know, each one like an outer ring, an inner ring, a kind of closer to the centre ring, and then just like a bang in the centre circle.
Like the rings of a tree?
I mean, in a very, very abstract way, yeah, but there's only 4 rings.
Ah.
And he'll say, on this outer ring here is mostly common trees. Thank you very much. The second ring inside is where we'll find the elder trees.
I see.
Elder trees don't tend to be sporadic growers. They grow in copses. So you won't miss them. They're not standalone. After that we go into dragon's blood trees, and the dragon's blood trees will exist quite close to the centre of spring. Very much like the elder trees, they grow in groups. You'll notice them by their blood red sap and almost teak coloured bark. And last and most certainly not least is bang in the centre, only one place we know where they grow, the Upaz trees. We know where one is for sure. If there's other ones there that are healthy, we should take them. Is there anything we need to go over before we do this?
I think we need to figure out how we're best going to try and approach this in case, like, I mean, Kiernan, you took us through those forests one time, said there was things in there before. What if those things kind of shifted and changed too? How do we handle that? Do we just, like, if we see it, no we didn't kind of thing, or is there some more that we should try and, like, be prepared?
Kiernan's kind of standing with his arms folded looking at this and he goes, if you grow up in spring, you learn about things that are there, the kind of things that came over from the Feywilds when this world was created. They're tricksy, but they follow rules. As long as you go where you're invited, don't cross any circles, and definitely don't take something that is just magically appeared. Should be okay.
Pretty standard.
But the Fae are tricky. You do have to be careful. Especially stepping into something that's been twisted and tainted. Bear in mind, these hags, they're working with pestilence, plague. The Springlands are not going to look like what they looked like before. We are walking into a place that has been tainted. Also, remember these hags, They work with illusions. They're gonna get into your head. They're gonna make you think you hear people that you love. They're gonna make you think that you see things. They're gonna make you think that something is the right direction. If something is too good to be true, it probably is. If you hear your loved ones crying out for help, even if there's a 1% chance that it is them, you have to ignore it. That means if we get split up, Reverie, Logon is probably not there. Arya, none of your brothers are probably there. Elion,
My brothers don't really love me, so I don't have to worry about that.
Elion. And he almost goes to speak about like a person, but then kind of just stops and goes, "You're probably not hearing the voices you think." And he's going to turn, he'll look at Sheila and go, "I mean, I'll probably be in there, but chances are I won't go far from you, so if we get split up, if I'm really badly hurt, I'll yell Rutabaga, okay?"
That's a good idea. We should have a code word. So, to make sure it's really us, Rutabaga. Also, we've still got those flowers that Reverie gave us, so we could tell who's who from the doppelgangers. So, we've got 2 ways to tell. So that's an illusion that won't get to us.
But the hags know about them now.
Okay, but they don't know about Rutabaga.
They don't know about Rutabaga, okay? So everybody knows the code word.
Rutabaga.
Awesome. If you hear screaming anywhere, if you hear anything that sounds like you or sounds like one of the group, you shout the word Rutabaga. And if you hear the word Rutabaga, you answer with the word Rutabaga, okay?
Can we not pick a more flattering word to roll off the tongue?
Oh, I'm sorry, would you like us to shout huzzah? Like, I mean, it's a word that is supposed to stand out.
It's just so awkward to say.
This is an awkward situation. I think it's fitting.
Okay, hold on. Elion, what would you...
No. Rutabaga is fine. I just think it's more flattering on your accents than it is mine.
I mean,
We have the same accents.
everything sounds better when you say it in a spring accent, though. So, well, I don't know. Let's take a survey. Kessely, did you say it? Rutabaga. It definitely sounds worse than his. His is the worst. Absolutely. Not all words are flattering in a Scottish accent. They're really not.
Okay,
I routinely
aside.
get asked to say the words curly whirly. It's fucking horrific.
Or what's the one that comes up a lot? Purple burglar alarm.
Purple burglar alarm, fuck you.
Rutabaga aside, what if we tried going over? Like, Sheila, if you could polymorph into a giant owl, maybe we can just take the aerial route and avoid a lot of stuff that way.
We run the risk of getting attacked in the air. And if Sheila gets knocked out of that in the air, not all of us can fly.
Also, we don't want Sheila hurt, so fair enough, but just roundabout way of thinking.
I'm not entirely convinced anything can really hurt Sheila, so I'm not all too worried about that one. But the thing is, Kessely's can do his magical floating disky thing. Reverie can walk on the ground, walk on the air, sorry, and you can fly. Sheila can change shape. I, however, tend to wear heavy things, and I can't fly. I will go into the ground like a fucking dart.
Reverie's gonna kind of raise her hand. You know, I can only do that at nighttime.
Well, there we go.
Okay, so sticking to the ground. Alright.
Also, I think we'll be fairly noticeable flying over there.
Yeah, true. Just a thought.
Okay, can we address the literal elephant in the room? Who the fuck is that?
Oh, hi! I'm Arya. What's your name? If I may know.
Hello, my name's Kikierum, but what is it you're calling me again?
Oh, I'm calling you Kiki.
My name's Kiki.
Oh,
What would
Kiki's
you
not
prefer to be
coming.
called?
My sister's life is on the line. If there's a spot, I'm coming.
Oh, you're Claudia's sister.
Kojata's my sister.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry. That was me.
I'm male, and I'm happy to be male, and I
I'm
use
sorry.
male pronouns.
I meant Koljata's your sister. Sorry, it's been a long day.
That's fine. I understand.
We also just came back from the lava forge, so the head's still a little light from all the heat and stuff. We got her warhammer back, so we can smash that creepy necklace we got from Magda, like you said, Cass.
Oh, your hammer will be able to do that as well.
Really?
Yeah, the diamonds inside this mountain are all blessed.
That's awesome. Kiki gave me a new hammer. I just hold up my hammer.
Oh, good. Again, I'm really sorry that I got yours melted. I thought it was going to be a poison attack, not a disintegration thing. I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine.
Sorry to cut over, but why can't I come?
Well, the four of us need to go. Kessley's is our transport and Kiernan's our guide. I don't see where you fit in other than being a body that will draw attention.
Kesselis isn't coming.
Wait,
Kessley's
Cass, you're
needs
not
to
coming?
come to get us there.
Kesselis
back.
is
He
transporting
can
us.
come to the transport, but then once we enter spring, that's where the problems are. So we have to leave Kessley's for transport there. We then go inside by ourselves.
Right, but then if Kiki comes, we're above the small group threshold and we run more risk.
But the small group threshold only applies once we enter spring.
So
Right,
to reiterate above table word wise, there's not a limit to how many people you can take in with you, but the more you take in with you, the higher the CR of creatures that you might encounter, because I can't just keep it as like CR 1 and 2 when you're walking around with like 8 people. Like that's just like you know, there has to be some challenge. This is moving towards a boss fight, you know, so
Yeah, even if we're level 10, that's still... I get that.
it's mostly so there's nothing stopping you from taking in Kessley's, Kiki, and Kieran. Oh my god, it's all K's. Kessley's, Kieran, and Kiki. There's nothing stopping you taking all 3 of them in. Just the fights might be a bit more difficult because it has to make up for the fact of you have a heightened total average CR.
Yeah.
That's all it is. There's nothing going, ho ho, there's no magical barrier going, no, you have more than 5, you cannot pass. Kessley's is just saying that, you know, I can take you there, then wait outside. Or if you still want me to come inside, I'll come with you. So what Ash said is very true. Kessley's has only pointed out that he can take you there and still just kick around outside. But you can take in any number that you want. It's one of those things of you take them in, higher risk. But as I've always said to my players, I don't just up the CR because I'm a dick. Higher risk does equal higher reward. So there's the possibility of more things if you do defeat higher enemies.
Kessley's also expressed a desire to just transport us and then come back.
What?
No, he never said he wanted to come back. He said that if anybody was going to go in, the one that makes sense if you're insistent on taking someone would be Kiernan. He's from Spring.
Mm-hmm.
But he never said he wouldn't go in with you. He was just like, if you're only going to take in one person, it should be Kiernan. But if you turn around and say, nah, we want all the help we can get, Kessley's is more than ready to walk in.
My thought process is, if Kessley's waits outside and we get into trouble, we have to make our way all the way back before we can go home. If Kessley's is with us, the moment we get what we need, we're gone.
That is fair.
If we then have Kessley's and Kiernan, we already have too many people. Adding in someone, no offense, and I'll point to them, that we don't know, is more unnecessary risk.
True, but if we do have someone, I'm assuming you're more front of the line fighter type.
Well, I mean, I'm competent. Like, you know, I can break most stones with my bare hands. So yeah, I'm a frontline fighter, I guess.
Okay, yeah, that's very impressive. Well, keep in mind, the only 2 who can really fight are you, Kiernan. I mean, the rest of us have magic, and Sheila's, of course, got her sword, so she's very capable of that. But most of us, if we do run into things, then we'll have more firepower that way, especially if Killian's in there. We might have a better shot if we have people who can fight better, too.
Kiernan's just going to say, I'd like to point out, I don't actually know all that much about fighting. I just grew up scrapping. Elion was actually taught how to fight, so...
Well, it's better than what I
I'm
can
very
do.
good at it. I'm
Better than
not
what I
trying to dissuade this fellow from coming. I'm just saying if we have to axe anybody, they're not coming.
There's also something to be said for wading in with a big group. Maybe we'll scare the hags away, who knows? You can live in hope.
I would like that.
I live in hope
personally.
all the time.
I guess above table, what we'll put it down to is a vote on it. Does anybody not want to take anyone? Just the 4 of you going in. Sorry, Ash, did I hear you go, yeah?
No, I was just
No.
laughing at us, just going in by ourselves, being like, bye.
You're Karen, nah, we got this. We got you stay here, buddy. Okay, cool. Does anybody want to just go in with one person? And I think what you guys said is that primarily if you're going in with just one person, it would be Kiernan.
I wouldn't mind if that's what everyone else wants to, but
nobody
I
else
think
is,
there's...
nobody else has vocalized that. So
I want Kessler's and
Okay.
Keenan.
So that would be the next one. Does anybody who wants to go in with 2 people? That being Kiernan and Kesselies. The balloons.
That's 2.5. Surely.
No, that's 2. And I guess the other one would be who wants to go in with all 3?
Oh, come on, bro.
I think we need all the help we can get.
The other thing as well is it does come down to Kiernan will side with Sheila, Kiki's going to side with Reverie, so it still comes out to a 3 and 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the dice I use for Kesselies, and I will roll them, and we will say,
I love the 2 court skeptics are like, new person. Go away.
And the clerics are like, friend, we
and
need,
this is how
we need all the
Sheila
help
and
we can get."
Elion became friends because they both went, nah, I don't trust new person.
I
We're not
also
pushing-
think they would be
We're
friends
not pushing
if
it
they,
that
like,
far.
I feel like they would also be the kind of people who would, like, talk shit about people's wardrobe together.
I don't know. I think that Elion would try and talk shit about somebody's wardrobe, and Sheila would just be like, "With you wearing what you're wearing, that's a dangerous route to go down." Okay, I have the D20. We're going to go 1 to 10. Just the 2. 11 to 20. All 3 of them. Okay. This is Kesseli's whole thing. I'm going to roll it here. And then I'll take a picture and put it in the chat so everybody knows.
With the Pringles.
With the Pringles! So yeah, just to reiterate, 1 to 10, just Kiernan and Kesselies. 11 to 20, Kiki's coming. Okay, that is a 15 on the D20. I'm going to move the Pringles can. I want to take the picture so I can't be accused of cheating. There we go. And into our Discord chat so everybody can see. Everybody at home is just going to have to take my word for it, but it is a 15. So it looks like everybody's going. Where's the forming? I've lost the forming. Where's the forming? Where are you guys? There you are. Found you.
You guys had the forming?
We're in the forming section.
There we go.
Wait,
Put it in.
Yep. There it is.
So,
Oh, I like the color scheme.
Kesselies, as with the dice has rolled, Kesselies is going to go, I can understand the want to keep it as small as possible, but the way I'm looking at it is, if you're already walking in with 6, 1 more is not going to do much more, is it?
Fine.
Kernan will look at Kiki and just go, "You're the new guy, so I'm just telling you this right now. If you hold us back, you'll get left behind."
Facts.
Sheila just holds out her fist.
Couple knocks. Ugh.
Revere's gonna give
He's
Kieran like a very
he's-
poignant look.
He's gonna put his hand up and go, "Usually I'm all for helping anybody we need to help, but these hags are merciless. They'll use any kind of weakness we have against us. We'll do what we can to help, but if it is a choice between you being left behind or one of these people being hurt, I will leave you behind."
I love how Reverie's appalled and Sheila's proud.
He'll then look
Yeah,
at
it
you.
makes sense, man.
He'll then look at you, Reverie, and go, "We don't just have the hags to worry about now. If Killian's been sighted there, there's a number of people inside that place that want to use any excuse to get to us. I'm not saying we be cruel. If we can help, we help. If anybody falls, we help. But if you falling and us getting you back means risking anybody else's safety, you're not known to me. These are my family." And Kiki just looks at him and gives a nod and goes, "I would have said the exact same thing." I'm not some kind of little thumb-sucking whelp. I've seen battle. I've seen horrible things. When my family came over here, I was just young enough to go into war. When we settled this place, I fought the things that were here. I've seen horrible things and I fought horrible things, and I know that if I go down, sometimes you have to let someone die. That's just a fact. But my sister's on the line here, and so's my future brother-in-law. I'm more inclined to care about my sister though. So if helping you means I don't get to save my sister, I'll leave you behind as well.
Thank you.
And him and Kiernan just kind of lock eyes and look at each other really hard for a minute before Kiernan just kind of nods and looks back to Kessleys. And Kessleys will say, "I'm ready to send us whenever. So if there's anything that you need to do it now."
Well, two things. One, a fill-in. We managed to get through to the Autumn Lord. He wasn't able to give magic to kind of help stabilize people, but he did create a barrier so that it kind of keeps people who are infected in here, people who aren't infected can still get out magically, but that means that the plague won't spread to the rest of Russet Falls and its people, so that was a good thing. And he's also going to try and get in contact with Spring Maiden if he can next time he talks with her. So that's something, at least.
That's good news. Thanks, Ari.
Before we depart, just give me a moment. I'm going to hop off Kiki's shoulder, and I'm going to grab Kessleys' hand and pull him to like a corner of the room.
Okay.
The new Archmage of Winter is here.
Erelia. Yeah, I met her.
She told me to let you know you may get a message from Winter summoning you home. And if you go home, we'll never see each other again.
Well, then that's not going home, is it?
I don't think so, but they are considering the pros and cons of allying with autumn and spring, or I guess cutting themselves off from the entire debacle.
Well, then there'd be no point in me going back. The reason I left was to pursue academic study. I left because I thought it would be a better use of my intelligence. If I'm going to go to the place which is the best chance of increasing my intelligence, I'm not going to go somewhere that closes its borders. Plus, if I get the order to come home, I will do exactly what they say. I have grown to understand that what Kernan said in there really is true. You are all my family. And family is home. So I'll do exactly what they say if they tell me to come home. And if they tell me to return to winter, I will tell them that I am pursuing my academia and doing exactly as I have been given permission to do, and I will return when I have brought my studies to their fruition, which could be an incredibly long time. There's a lot of world to see.
I agree.
Also, you're an incredibly bad influence. I would never think like this before I met you.
I think I'm a very good influence. I don't know what you mean. It's just that sometimes things can't be learned in books or can be learned from experience.
Promise me that you will be careful when we get here. Hag magic is unlike... It doesn't follow the rules of normal magic.
I will be very careful. But as you remember, I'm sure, I am a little experienced with hags and their messed up magics.
I have never faced a hag before, so I'm trying to think of this as an academic pursuit rather than the march into potential life and death that it actually is.
Right, well, the last time I fought hags, Kieran kind of died, and I turned one to stone. So, it should go well. I give like a smile that is kind of cheery, but totally not happy. And I squeeze Kessel's hand and go, I just should ask me to tell you about that. So, that's all.
He squeezes your hand back before making his way back to the table.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to sit on Kiki's shoulder. I like being high up.
Arya.
While they would have gone off to the side to talk, I think Ari would have gone over to Elion and like, hey, so I know you said tabling things for now, but I figured this is important before we go into fight some hags and potentially die. I know no one made you feel what he felt, what he was, and I only got a sense of that, and it was a lot. So I just want to check that you're okay, that you're in an okay headspace.
Fuck no. But
yeah, I know. I've felt your emotions before too.
I am balanced.
That's at least something. I also owe you a bit of an apology. I thought more about what you said about how, with soldier types like yourself, sometimes trying to offer too much support or assistance can make you feel suffocated. So if my attempts of support or friendship have made you feel like that, I apologize. It came from a sincere place, but still.
No, I get it. It's just... We spend so long dedicating ourselves to look after other people that we don't want to be looked after. And not in a way of we don't feel like we deserve it, it can distract us from what we're doing. Nothing you've done is ever taken as offense. It's just
Not take it seriously.
no.
I'm
It's
used to
just
that though.
it's unnecessary.
Eddie and I spent 100 years of my life feeling alone and being alone. And the times where I was at my lowest, all I wanted was people to be there. So when I see someone else alone, I can't help but want to give them what I didn't have. To me, that feels necessary. But the truth is, I don't know what kind of key you need to get out of whatever cage you're in right now, but I recognize now it's probably not the same as what I need. All the same though, until you find your key, you do have a friend in you. You know that, right?
I'm slow to realizing it.
She's gonna roll her eyes and blow her bangs out of her head. Okay, let me rephrase that. Do you feel the truth of that and not just know it intellectually?
I think we're going around in circles.
I get it. That's something I struggle with in my own way too. Well, I guess it's just one more thing I'll have to keep reminding you of then. And she'll playfully poke you in the cheek. And hey, maybe I can remind myself in the process. She'll poke herself in the cheek. But if I could offer just a bit of friendly advice, speaking from personal experience, don't let yourself get so used to the numbness that you don't even realize it started to make a home inside your chest until something or someone comes along and wakes you up. I know you don't always get a say in the matter with that particular emotion, but still, it's no way of living. It doesn't get anything done, and there are better coping mechanisms out there. Just some food for thought.
I promise the numbness normally fades once we have more than 4.5 seconds to breathe.
When do we ever get that?
I think that the one thing that Reverie and I share in common is we are currently in work mode. And the only thing that will stop us from being in work mode is for there to be no work.
So then, take the advice for when you don't have it.
Yeah.
Because that reprieve will come. I'm putting it out there. I am hopeful. We've made it this far. I know we'll make it farther still. Someone's got to be the optimist in this party.
Once we have a spa day, we'll be fine, I promise.
We seriously deserve a fucking vacation.
I promise, it's on the cards, guys. You just have to get to it.
Yeah, but there's plenty of other stuff we got to do too.
It's so close. It's only the epilogue of the last session.
Yeah, but there's a lot we got to do, including get back to Redstone's Collar at some point. But I'll explain that all later, one emergency at a time.
It's fine. We're 8 days away from the human party too.
Oh yeah, we still got to do that.
That's in 8 days.
I legit wrote up a to-do list for the party. But I just wanted to put that out there. Well, I had the chance.
I do appreciate it.
Okay. Just kind of give you a kind of friendly squeeze and wait for Reverie to come back. And I'm still carrying Puljana's maul, right? Technically.
Yes, you are.
I'm gonna go over to Kiki and pass to him. I think this will be a lot better in your hands than mine. I'm much better with a fiddle.
She's just going to gesture to the massive maul he's got on his back. Just be like, I don't touch my sister's hand. That's hers.
Fair enough, but if yours is blessed as well, or someone's blessed as well, can we smash this stupid necklace thing so we got one less thing on our to-do list while we can? Because Kes, you said that was important, right? What I'll say once he comes over.
Kesley, so
With Reverie.
I mean, yeah, it's just like it's on the list of priorities, so...
We might as well now while we got the chance. One less thing to worry about is what I'm saying.
Okay, who's got the necklace?
Sheila?
Yep.
Well, hold on. Isn't that thing useful?
It's evil!
It's the
It was belongs to Magda!
It's the necklace that Magda had, and it's given off some really weird dark magic.
Oh, not
Juju.
the soul gem.
Not the soul
No,
gem.
different
This is
thing.
the one that Magda was wearing, and when he died, it was left.
Smash away.
Bad juju. Let's get one less thing to worry about.
So Sheila, do you give the necklace? Sheila's like, haha, this is where, oh, that guy's lost it. This is where I have my villain arc. Oh.
I thought you said it was in your bag of holding. I saw you put it in there.
Find it. You know how big it is in there, man.
Hang on, I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna try and like reach in my hand.
No, they're not.
You can't. No, you can't. You can't just go up to somebody else's stuff and reach your hand in.
Oh, I can't. Oh, maybe I can try then.
No.
I'll ask her.
So Sheila, you're saying that you're not giving it over.
No.
Okay.
Can I insight?
This is a real issue. We can figure it out when we get back.
I think is that what you're trying to suggest, Sheila? That there's other bigger things to worry about. We can deal with that later.
It's more of I still just want to figure out what this is.
All right, you still want it, right? Okay, well that's understandable. You want to have it identified first. That seems fair to me.
Can't find it. We'll find it later, guys.
All right. If you're sure, if we can spare 10 minutes later, I can always pass identify on that and the other stuff. But at least we have ways to smash it when we do find it.
I'm sure we'll have plenty of things to smash once we get there.
Yep.
Before you guys leave, there's one other thing. This, the sound of like big heavy footsteps is going to sound from the corridor, and Arya, Sheila, what you guys recognise as the smith, the forge master, is going to come in, and he's got like a bundle in his hands, and he's going to go, sorry to interrupt. And the like, guards are like looking at this guy like, what the fuck? Like, who the fuck is that? This guy's just appeared out of nowhere, marched up these stairs and just kind of went, yeah, I'm going in there. No, you can't go, it's an important meeting. No, I'm going in. He's just kind of walked into the protest of many guards. And he's going to go, I heard you're going to the forest place. And, I made this for someone from there. But they can't use it now, so if you find anyone that can use it. And he's just going to chuck it onto the thing and go, I'm done. And turn and just leave.
Thank you! What is it?
Depends if you want to go and look at it.
I'll take a look. I'm curious.
Okay. So as you go over, you unwrap the bundle. It's a sword. A long sword. And it has a fairly simple hilt. It has a crossguard hilt with a kind of hand. It's a long sword, so it can be used two-handed, so it's like a hand and a half sword. Kind of in the similar style of like Aragorn's sword, where it's got the space to be used one-handed, but it can fit two hands down at the pommel. That kind of sword hilt. The scabbard is made of wood wrapped with leather. It's a fairly simple looking blade. It has an emerald in the pommel of it. He'll kind of again reiterate the Primarch, the one with the one that's not Kojata, the short one.
Logan.
He made it as a gift for someone who was visiting during his wedding. Or he wanted it made. It's been made. They apparently can't use it. It should get used. I don't like it when I make things and they don't get used. And he says that with some real grit, like it actually physically irritates him when he makes something and it doesn't get used. And then he goes, I'm done, I've spoken enough words. And then turns and just walks out. Doesn't even say goodbye, nothing. Just turns and goes, I've said enough words, and leaves.
Thank you! I'm not good with the sword. Sheila, I know you got Snicker Snack, but you want to take a crack at it?
Snicker Snack will say in your mind, Sheila, don't you dare.
Think about it, babe.
It was
I am
made
more
for
than sword enough.
it was made for someone in Spring, so perhaps
True.
someone from Spring should be its wielder.
Karen's just going to
Turns
go, I have an axe.
Well, you might as well take it just in case. You look very hot on it.
Swords and
It's-
axes are remarkably similar.
It's really pretty. Plus, if something happens to your axe,
As somebody who is a competitive swordsman, no, they're not.
No, they're not.
They're
not.
really
They're really
Not even at all. Not even a little bit.
Especially
But-
Not at
not
all.
a battle axe and a long sword.
yeah,
Oh,
big difference.
Sorry. Astrid, go away.
Oh yeah, Ash. Sorry about if I came off as pushy.
All good.
All right. It was very surprising though, but I respect the character choice.
Astrid, close down the door.
So it was like Liz and I playing Baldur's Gate, and you know the Necromancy of Thay book, the giant skull one.
Yeah.
This is like, get rid of it. I'm like, I want to read it.
It
well,
was
when I
so
can
bad.
spend,
I've just unlocked it in my personal playthrough.
Love
It's
it.
so good.
So
It's
good.
so good.
that's not good.
100% would.
Literally,
If
I
I
want
could
you to
spend-
know, he was literally gremlin laughing,
That does not surprise me
opening
at
the
all.
book to read it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, get rid of it!
No.
Like,
Both you
Yeah.
and Harry, Ashley, both you and Harry, give it a very fuck around
So-
and find out what does this button do. Fine.
Sorry about that, guys. My child's favourite thing to do is just go, oh, streaming? I guess what I'm going to do, I'm just going to walk around with nothing.
I'm
so-
ready for my close up, Mr. DeMille.
Honestly, she's pure brazen.
But yeah, when we get spare 10 minutes, I can ritual cast. if that
Reverie,
helps.
on that, I need you to make a persuasion check.
Can I offer assistance since I'm also trying to persuade him?
If you want to.
You can assist.
So you get advantage on that reverie as you're trying to persuade him to pick up a weapon which he's never used in his life.
Please tell me. Please tell me.
Would you get reverie? I can't hear you.
Oh, you're muted.
hello?
Yeah,
You
hear
we
me
can
now?
hear you now.
Okay, you're gonna.
Okay, I unmuted before I talked, and it's just my mic didn't pick it up. I rolled double nat once.
Double
What?
nat ones. Okay, so that's a 1 plus what?
1 plus 2,
Damn.
3.
So that's a 3.
Convincing.
That's surprising.
Okay, so as a reminder, you still have the DM inspiration from last session that you haven't used. So you can add your D10 onto that if you want.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to. Maybe I
We
should
won't. We
make
have a
it
hand
fist.
fight coming up.
So I've just
And this might come in handy. The
so
sword.
I'm going to take the picture and I've used the metal dice that I have for Kiernan, the brass and green ones. So I'm going to take a picture of this for the check. So I've just rolled it, and he has a plus. He has a +2 to this save. Well, actually, no, he has a +6 in total. Because no, he doesn't. He doesn't have that many levels in Paladin. He has a +2 to this. So Reverie, what did you get on your D10 if you use it?
10.
10 in total, so you rolled a 7. Okay,
Yeah.
so that is legitimately Kiernan's roll that I've just put in there. Kiernan rolled a 3 on the saving throw, which gives him a grand total of 5. He will take the sword, look at it, and he's going to look at Elion and be like, you're going to need to have to teach me how to use this at some point.
Okay. I mean, there's less weight on the top, but it's there's transferable skills. You'll be fine.
Cool.
Oh, if I could spend 10 minutes, I can give us all a bit of a boost before we go in, too. We know all the help we can get.
Kesselis is just going to say, I think we've done all we can.
All right.
Is everybody ready?
Ready as
Sure.
well to be.
And with Kessler's clapping his hands together and then pulling apart and forming like a thread of magic and scoping it out the way he builds his magic circles, we're going to end there. With the portal being opened to take you to the teleportation circle outside of Spring. I am going to give you an after credit scene based on a choice that was made in this session. As the portal gets made, taking you to that teleportation circle, you can see through it this little village that is ran almost exclusively by furbolgs, walking around, and everybody starts to step forward, step through this portal. As you cross over into this outpost to begin your journey into the Springlands, into something that could potentially be the final journey you take together if things go badly. Before Kernan steps through, he's going to take a big and then, out of curiosity, whether it's fate, whether it's destiny, whether it's whatever, he looks down at this sword and he pulls it just a little bit out of the sheath and sees an emerald green blade. And he shrugs and puts it back in and steps through. That is where we wrap today's session. Thank you everybody who came to see us today. Next session, trigger warning for everybody, our party will be most definitely going into combat next session. We are going to be dealing with things that show a lot of pestilence and plague, so there will be not overly grotesque descriptions, but there will be depictions of things that utilise things like slime, sludge, pus, vomit, all that kind of thing. Again, I'm not going into gross details, but you know, if someone casts like, what's that thing, like caustic brew or something, that spell caustic brew, it may be flavoured to be them vomiting acid. Basically, if you're familiar with the Warhammer lore world, a lot of the themes I'm using for this are going to be quite Nurgle-esque, so there will be depictions of things, and also kind of maybe going into slight body horror with things like, you know, things having multiple arms and things having like swollen faces and stuff. We are going into quite Nurgle-esque territory. Also hags, so be prepared for bodies to have been left out in quite intimidating displays. We are going into quite a scary situation here, guys. Another trigger warning for next session. At this point, as I've made it clear to my party, we're on the run up to a boss fight. We're on the run up to an end of an arc. Going forward, any NPCs, any pets, anything like that taken with you, they are targets. They will be targeted. They could die. And very much the same with our player characters. You're stepping into the point where an entire place wants you dead. That's what you're going to be fighting here, guys. So character death is a possibility. All those trigger warnings are in effect as of next session for however long it takes you guys to finish this last little bit of the arc. There's also no turning back. If you forgot something, too bad. I'm very excited. As I've said before, I don't know if our lovely moderator Reverie can get them dropped in one last time. We also do have a new campaign that's going to be starting within the next month or two. It's a Dragon Age campaign using the Dragon Age TTRPG. It's phenomenal. It's such a good game. It fills in a lot of the blanks that D&D doesn't, and I really am so looking forward to this. Like, I love the Dragon Age TTRPG system. If you're already a player at one of my tables, my rule of putting new players first has been dropped because everybody's going to be new to this TTRPG module. So even if you already play at my tables, if you want to play, apply. I will be picking players within the next 2 to 3 weeks. I will be reaching out and contacting people. Is there anything else I want to say on that? No, that is it on that. If you like what you've seen here, check out all of our social medias at World Tree Quests, where you can find information on everything we do. We are going to be more active on the TikTok starting very soon. I sound so old on the TikTok. Very, very soon, because our lovely moderator Reverie, who is also our official master of lore, is collecting clips of things. So they will be going up on TikTok as soon as Reverie sends me over the first bunch of them. I'll just start fucking every single day. Have one. So yeah, things are moving forward. Yeah, me, I do stuff on TikTok at Son of Asgard. I'm not really active there just now because I'm focused on trying to get World Tree Quest something a bit more active, but I make videos every now and again when I'm there if you want to see them. I'm going to pass over to my players now and let them plug anything they want to. So let's go to everybody's favourite AI / the reason that Terminator 3 is so terrifying. Harry, anything that you want to plug at all?
Only that when your friends interrogate you about your love life, you should be extremely cryptid and give them no specific answers, because they deserve nothing.
Only in TTRPGs. In real life,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
should absolutely...
In real life, you should gossip.
100% gossip. Do it all the time.
100%.
Anything you want to plug, Harry, at all?
Nah.
Alright, no worries.
Nah.
Thanks very much, Harry. Ash, what about your lovely self?
If you want to find me on social media, you can find me at Ash Howard Music on most social media platforms. However you want to watch me stream TTRPGs, you can only do that here. So, yeah, keep listening, keep watching.
It's gonna be so fucking good.
Woo! Fireworks!
Oh, the fireworks! We got the fireworks!
As this fitting someone so awesome.
Thank you very much for that, Ash, and can I just say it's lovely to have you back. Khadija, what about yourself?
Hi, you can find me at Khadija Al Kubra on most social media platforms, particularly Twitter, Instagram, Archive of Our Own. If you like fan fiction, I write it, it's real good. But mostly on TikTok, where I am best known as the Book Dragon of the Bookworm Archive. If you like wholesome fantasy and cozy content, as well as having really good book recommendations shoved down your throat, I'm the guy you go to. But as far as playing D&D and watching streams of that, here I am exclusively here with all these wonderful people.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for that, Arya. And last and most certainly not least, we go to that is not a face
okay?
of something that's nice.
Are you okay?
Let's go to Liz, who apparently has something nasty to say. Liz?
No, okay. So my niece gave me a Baja Bliss, and I didn't know that it was a paper straw. And when paper touches your tongue and it's kind of dry,
Oh.
and it's very icky, and I don't like.
Say less. Anything that you want to plug at all, Reverie? Liz?
Yes.
Not Reverie, Liz.
I am she is me. If you would like to see me on other social medias, you can find me as Patron of Chaos or patron_of_chaos on TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, the whole nine. But if you want to see me play D&D or other TTRPGs, too bad. I am exclusively with World Tree Quests.
World Tree Quest supremacy. If that's everything from my players, then that's everything from me, so that's everything from us. Thanks very much for coming to see us, guys. I've been your DM of Doom, Son of Asgard, here, or World Tree Quest here on TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. With me today, we've had Patron of Chaos, we've had Khadija Al Kubra, we've had Ash Howard Music, and we've had Just Harry. From all of us here at World Tree Quests, good night, stay safe, stop worrying about random magic items and bags, and just fight bosses, okay? Also, don't pull a finny. Good night, folks. Good night. I love how I told them not to pull a finny when pulling a finny is exactly that. Just, ignoring